I cannot tell you how humbled I am to be in this room amongst the absolute and very best that our country produces. You could pick any other ballroom in the country, including in Washington, D.C., and you're not going to find the likes of Americans like we have in this room. So good morning, and thank you very much for having me. And I want to thank the mayor and Senator Collins and all of Tampa for the incredible and wholehearted support that it gives to the United States military. SOCOM, CENTCOM have no better home than here on the Gulf Coast. Looking out at this crowd and hearing Jay speak, I'm reminded of one of the first soft truths, which is humans are more important than hardware. More than any other military formation, I saw it in a small way as a conventional infantryman 20 years ago. SOF's about people. It starts and ends with the troops downrange. Each of you and your commitment to the mission is more important than any of the cutting-edge hardware and software we're going to see on the convention floor, and I look forward to seeing it. Gathered here in record-breaking numbers are warriors, patriots, innovators, entrepreneurs, visionaries, allies, and partners. It is an absolute honor, and I mean it, to be here with you. Special operations has never been more important for our country. Yesterday was actually my 100th day in office as Secretary of Defense. And as I said from the beginning, this is the deployment of a lifetime. Each day I get a chance to see, like few others do, the great work that SOF does around the world. The battle-tested team in this room that is essential to everything that President Trump does and his leadership to put America first and establish peace through strength. I wish everyone in this room could have a chance to be in the Oval Office like I was yesterday and watching how this commander-in-chief puts the interests of our nation first in advancing the safety and security of the American people. It's a thing to behold. That first and foremost includes defending our homeland, our border, Golden Dome, standing up to the Communist Chinese, and of course, increasing burden sharing with our allies and partners. Border security equals national security, and we're going to get 100% operational control of our southern border. And SOF is making a unique contribution there as well. Our long-standing relationship with our partners in Mexico is crucial to supporting NORTHCOM and securing our border, something that's ongoing to this day. But Homeland Defense, as you all know, first and foremost, is a global mission. In the last 6 months, SOF has eliminated over 500 terrorists who threaten our homeland directly. And alongside global SOF partners, your team has captured at least another 600 terrorists. So it starts and ends with the homeland. That's why we do this. We don't fight because we hate what's in front of us. We fight because we love what's behind us. But second, overseas, we are reorienting toward deterring the Communist Chinese, no doubt our pacing threat. As America's experts in irregular warfare, SOF brings to bear unique capabilities and leverages critical partnerships. SOF's global efforts, below the threshold of conflict, which you all know, and often out of sight, create the very dilemmas that the Communist Chinese need as we shape their perceptions. You see, we have to convince Xi Jinping that today is not the day to test the United States' resolve. And SOF underpins deterrence in the Indo-Pacific. At the same time, you're preparing the battlefield and standing ready to help us prevail if China were to choose conflict. And third, as I've said many times before, but it's important to hear today with so many of our partners, America first does not mean America alone. We shift our focus, as we do, to the Indo-Pacific. President Trump looks to our partners throughout the world to put their shoulder to the plow and take their share of the burden in their own defense, which is a message you've heard from me on the world stage multiple times, and we will continue to yell from the rooftops. We look to our friends to be force multipliers alongside the United States. It has to be a two-way street. We can't want your security more than you want your own security. How many times have we seen that? SOF is playing a key role in accomplishing this goal, shoulder to shoulder with our allies, many of which, as I mentioned, are with us this morning. In addition to these ongoing efforts, SOF provides lethal precision and timely crisis response options to the Commander-in-Chief, President Trump. He confronts the hardest challenges in the world. As you know, no one brings easy problems to the Oval Office, but SOF brings solutions. When called, SOF snuffs out urgent threats, rescues American citizens, and protects our diplomats. In the last 3 years, these and other presidentially directed missions have increased by 200%. SOF has answered the call, and SOF has risen to the challenge every single time. They're doing this day in and day out around the world and around the clock, and I don't have to tell this group. Sometimes in open combat, but more often in the twilight challenges just short of war. Most of you in this room have done just that. So the question is, following 2 decades of conflict in the Middle East, where does SOF and DoD go from here? Well, from day one at the Department of Defense, our overriding objectives have been clear. Restore the warrior ethos, rebuild our military, and reestablish deterrence. It all starts with restoring the warrior ethos. When President Trump asked me to take this job, he told me, well, one key thing, but really two. The first was, Pete, you're gonna have to be tough as shit. They're gonna come after you. Boy, he was not kidding about that one. This job requires a steel spine, and that's fine. My job's easy compared to what you do. We're doing the work on behalf of the American people and the American warfighter. But then the president, after he said that, went on to say, I need you and I want you to restore the warrior ethos in our military, full stop. And that's been my first priority since day one, is restoring the warrior ethos. It's one of the most fundamental of those 3 objectives. Again, humans more important than hardware. Everything starts and ends with warriors from training to the battlefield. We are leaving wokeness and weakness behind. No more pronouns, no more climate change obsession, no more emergency vaccine mandates, no more dudes in dresses. We're done with that shit. We're focused on lethality, meritocracy, accountability, standards, and readiness. That's why since Election Day, since President Trump was elected, recruitment and retention numbers are up historically. Attracting military service is something Americans have long been attracted to, but more so when they see leadership they want to follow. They want to be in disciplined formations that value them not for immutable differences, not for the color of our skin or gender, but because of honor and integrity and grit and patriotism. They want a meritocracy where they can work hard, make themselves better, kick ass, and rise up. They're looking for adventure, camaraderie, risk, danger. They want to push themselves and test themselves against others. They want to flourish in an environment that embraces hard work, discipline, and the warrior ethos. Special operators know a thing or two about all of those.